Americans imprisoned in Iraq are now free and safe back in the United States. Christian pastor Sa'id Abedini, Marine Amir Hakmati, and reporter Jason Rezaian all freed from the hell inside those Iranian prisons. It was a historic prisoner swap, but one American was seemingly left behind. Former FBI agent Bob Levinson is nowhere to be seen, and the fight to bring him home continues. But for three families, the fight is over, and that is great for them, and I'm very happy for them. And today, I traveled to North Carolina to meet with Christian pastor Sa'id Abedini, who's resting at the Billy Graham Training Center. Pastor Abedini explained the horrors he saw and endured behind bars, and one of Pastor Abedini's most distinct memories, the moment he set foot in front of an Iranian judge.
He just said, you know why you are here? I said, yeah, I'm here because of my Christian faith and starting the house churches all over Iran. And he said, no, you are not here for this. You are here because you want to use Christianity to remove government. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. You know, I just came here to start orphanage, loving people, and share the gospel with people, and just that. And he said, no, you guys are using Christianity to remove the government. That's the reason that you are here. And I said, no, I didn't do that. I pray for you, I love you, and I didn't come for that. And she started like yelling at me, very angry. And when my lawyer started talking, he didn't let him to talk. And so after 10 minutes, they said to the guards that you can take them back to prison. When they sent me to the other solidarity, which Amir Hikmati, the Marine, was over there, and they bound my eyes, they took me to his room, and I've been there, I think, for almost 60 days.
In the same room with Amir
Hikmati? Yeah.
You guys talk about things? I mean, or communicate with each other? Or?
Yeah, first when I removed my eye band, and I saw her, I was like, got very heartbroken to see what they did to our Marine. You know, I saw his eyes was completely black. He got so thin, very weak, and I started crying. You know, it's like, that's a real war. That's a real fight. You know, so it was very hard to me. So I went there, we shake hands, we hug each other, we try to encourage each other, and I can see it was the best moment that I have since I got arrested, and to see him alive. And so we have been there for 2 months together.
In the same room?
In the same room, yeah.
Anybody else in there?
It's just sometimes they brought some other prisoners, stay with us, and then like after a week or 2 weeks, they just removed them again.
How did you pass time, you and Amir Hakmati, for those 2 months?
That was the most hardest thing in prison, especially in the solidarities like that, because there is nothing to do. So I made a plan that I can talk to him, encourage him, and mostly personally I was praying. You know, the best thing that I could do over there was like praying each day, hours and hours, sometimes more than 20 hours. I just prayed and prayed, and it was wonderful time with the Lord. I enjoyed it. But the other thing, they didn't give us book to read, they didn't give us our own clothes, they didn't give us, nothing. It was just me and him in a room, nothing to do.
For 2 months?
For 2 months. Actually, he was over there for more than a year in the same room when I met him. And but after coming out from Solidarity and seeing one person that you can talk, it was like a heaven, So it was a good time.
Did they ever torture you besides, look, I think solitary confinement, of course, is torture. I think holding someone is torture in the manner for faith. Did they ever torture you physically?
Yes, in interrogation, once they beat me very badly. Because they want me to write something that they want, which I didn't do that. They tried hardly to damage my reputation in Iran. So they asked me to write and sign the things that I didn't do that. And so Actually, it was in a courtroom that the judge closed the door and the interrogators started beating me, which in that time I got a stomach bleeding. And they asked me the things that like criminal prisoners do. So when I deny it, they start beating me, and they asked me to sign it, to write it, and I denied. And then when they saw it doesn't work, they let me go.
And beat you with their fist?
Right.
Was there other torture going on in the prison that you knew about, other forms?
The other forms was when I was interrogated with my interrogator, he's told me that I'm going to do 3 things to you. First, I'm going to put you to with Al-Qaeda prisoners, and they're going to beat you to death, which he did later. And I was beaten with him to death, kind of. God saved me over there. The second thing was, he said to me, I'm going to send you to Rajai Shah, which is a worse prison than Evin. And the third thing was the threat of death. And they said, when you finish your sentence and you go to US, we always follow you. And if you continue the thing that you did, we're going to kill you, as the other pastor happened to them. So they took me to the with the Al-Qaeda prisoners, and we had like a normal talk, and it was a very heavy iron chair over there. He grabbed it and hit it to my face, to my head, and so I got it. I got the chair when he hit my head and hit my legs. So the guards came, and they didn't let him to continue what he did.
Did you see other people get beaten and tortured?
A lot.
Like what? How? In what manner?
The worst thing that I saw was when they took some Sunnis for execution. It was in front of our eyes, and they took like tens of them to hang up, every Wednesday in Rajai Shah. Still they hang up people and they take them for execution. Most of them, they are Sunni, some of them political prisoners, and I can say most of them, they are there for their faith. And so when they want to take them, they were scared. And so like the soldier, they take their hands, their feet, grab them, and like when they take a lamb for slaughtering. So, and they were yelling. Some of them, they were crying, and some of them, they wet themselves. So it was very, very graphic things, when I saw when they took people for execution.
And there's much more from our conversation with Pastor عابدینی, and you're going to hear much more of this chilling interview in the days and weeks ahead. You're also going to hear from his sister and Reverend Franklin Graham, who has been helping the Christian pastors re-entry to the United States. And there's